the thing about these hip hop artists, how they were different from other musical artists is they were hustlers. They were happy to make money however they could make it. You know, your old school rock and rollers wanted nothing to do with commercialization. You know, can you imagine Jimi Hendrix doing endorsement deals? I don't think so, right? But these hip hop guys, right off the bat, they said, we're hustlers, we'll make money however we can get it. And they were at the forefront of this whole branding trend, which has been going on now for a number of years. I mean, it really starts with them, of course, their landmark deal with Adidas. I mean, yeah, Adidas used Rum DMC, but it was really Rum DMC that branded Adidas and made it the company it is. And people at Adidas would tell you that, right? And that is the power of this collaboration between hip hop artists and other companies. Of course, today we have Jay-Z, and I should forget not his lovely wife too, Beyonce, who you can say nothing bad about. Please don't do it. You'll regret it. The Hive will come after you. But Jay-Z, you know, is really kind of epitomizes this. And my colleagues here, one of my colleagues here, Professor Hughes, who's at Loyola, and Professor Merges, who was at Berkeley, they wrote an article a couple of years ago that said, in terms of African Americans, you know, copyright has done a pretty good job of compensation, which my work is completely counter to that, right? And so we in a polite way, we fight and we disagree over that. But one of the things about that, of course, is that Jay-Z is not rich from his music catalog. His music catalog is worth about $150 million. He's a billionaire now, by the way. You probably just read that. He passed $1 billion. All the rest of that is not from music, right? It's from the power of branding. It's from the power of trademark, right of publicity, and branding. And the fact that because he's Jay-Z, he can establish a title and he can sell whatever that stuff is he's selling, liquor, et cetera. So that's why it's so important, and hip-hop has led the way in this sense. As he says cryptically, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Oh, isn't that heavy? Right? That is so heavy, but it's true. I mean, he views himself as a business, whether it's Rocawear, which I don't think anybody wears that anymore. Jay-Z Gold, there was a breach of contract dispute because he didn't want to promote his own cologne line. We could talk about that in another forum, but this is just what happens in the hip hop space. At this point, my thesis is that these revenues are far more important for artists in that space than traditional music industry revenues. And we know this is true. There's J-Lo. Her deal for Glow by J-Lo was an $80 million deal. I mean, try making $80 million now in the digital music space. Probably not going to happen unless you're Drake. If you're Drake, it's wonderful. But if anybody below him, maybe not so great. We have these, the music world now is Spotify and Pandora and YouTube. And anybody who studies this knows it's fractional revenues. It's literally points of a penny on a dollar. It takes a lot of downloads, a lot of streams to get serious money in the music industry. And again, for someone like Drake, and we could pick some others, right? They can do it, but most people can't do it. You know it's bad when Taylor Swift is complaining about the compensation, right? in the new music world. And then for the new people who we call schmucks, right? Here in Hollywood, they get a 360 deal, which means that they're going to be sharing everything they do, including their copyright revenues, including their merchandising, sponsorships, endorsements, and the like. And so you had to find another revenue source if you really want to become truly wealthy in this business. I'm not going to talk too much about 360s. In the interest, I'm just skipping through these. Okay, so of course, the right of publicity basically allows you to monetize your fame. That's what it does. And this is the revisiting part. So I used to say this all the time when I spoke about right of publicity, when I would get up. And here it was. I'll pick somebody. Let me pick someone. Let's see. How about you, miss? All right. Hello. Here's the deal. You're going to be a rock star, or maybe a great athlete, a movie star. Pick something, right? You're going to make tons of money from distribution deals and from music revenues and the like, and you're going to have adoring fans who swarm you wherever you go. However, we will not give you the right to monetize your image, your likeness. Will you still take that deal? No. Why not? You're going to be famous, you're going to be rich, have people all around you. You won't take that deal? Okay, you, sir, will you take that deal?
I probably would not, because you lose control over your identity.
Okay. What is wrong with you people? You, sir, will you take it? Adoring fans wherever you go. Money, Ferraris. This is the wrong audience. My thing is...
I'll take it.
I'd take it.
All right, there we go. I'll take it too. Now, this is what I used to say. I said, so this notion that we need to incentivize people to become famous, I'm a guy, right? So for me, a guy, wow, a rock star, wow, lots of women, lots of, Prada, all these exciting things. Okay, I don't get that revenue stream. I don't think that's true anymore, though, and maybe that your answers reflect that. I think that now, particularly in the music world, you need that revenue stream to become really wealthy, and it comes from right of publicity and trademark rights. I'm not going to get too much into it in the interest of time here. I wish we had more time because I wanted to do some basics here. California by far has the strongest publicity rights of any place in the country. And even in some of the cases that Caroline was talking about, I saw you had that one New York case about Mr. Sizzle, which I wanted to say for shizzle about him. But in California, maybe the case comes out differently, I was thinking. Because in California, under the common law, it's about the identity. New York is very restrictive. It says name, likeness, portrait, picture, right? Signature. California says your identity, and maybe that's his identity. And so I was just wondering about that. We could play around with that. Why do people sue under 51? Because one gives you civil damages and one's a misdemeanor. I never got the 51 part. Maybe somebody will explain that to me, right? All right, I'm going to skip through these just because I have too many slides. Of course, there's always going to be overlap, including the cases that you talked about, because I'm sure most of those cases were also trademark infringement cases, right? They usually go hand in hand in the entertainment business, trademark infringement, right of publicity. And of course, here, it's right of publicity because the Evel Knievel uniform can evoke Evel Knievel, and it's part of his identity under California law. And it's also a trademark because it functions as a trademark. That was his song, Touch the Sky, which we would have played here. I joke with my kids that Kanye is nothing without those 70s grooves, You take away those 70s grooves, you got nothing. That's what his career is based on. Of course, now there's all these branding deals, with these high-level fashion people, as I was talking about. How come they haven't come after Gucci Mane? See, he rebranded himself after a brand, which I find kind of funny, right? Because fashion brands himself after hip-hop, and he's appropriated the Gucci name. I'm surprised he hasn't been sued by them. Maybe they don't object to it. But they did. Burberry didn't like this guy, Burberry Perry, calling himself Burberry Perry and using that as a background for his album. And they shut him down. They made him stop using that. They got an injunction in him. He's now the good Perry. Too bad, Perry, right?
Cardi B got her name too, right?
Yes, yeah. So these are the various reasons we have right of publicity. As I said, I think the economic incentive theory has to be revisited in light of the importance of right of publicity, particularly in the music industry. We also don't like free riders, right? And sometimes it's just free riding, including some of the cases you talked about with the Fiji water girl. They're just, basically taking advantage of her. We also have this personality theory, which I hope will be explored at some point. And I think you indicated that, right, Ryan? You said you want control over your image, right? And not to be used in ways you don't like. And allocative efficiency is the same theory that we have in trademark. We call it trademark dilution. And the theory is that if too many people use my image or my brand, it'll become... It's like in high school. No one wanted to go out with the person that everybody could date, right? That's that theory to simplify it.